The Pottawatomie County Commission gave final approval to the 2025 budget at Monday's board meeting. Details of the budget had been ironed out during a work session the previous week. For the first time since 2010, the county will see a decrease in assessed valuation. The valuation is determined by real property values, personal property values, and state-assessed utilities. The overall decrease in assessed valuation is the result of a decrease in the valuation of state-assessed utilities. The mill levy will also decrease by almost 10%, going from 28.856 to approximately 26.0. For someone owning a $300,000 house, that would result in $98.53 less in taxes. Ad valorem taxes levied will drop to $2,311,044. Changes impacting the general fund include a cost of living pay increase and several new job positions. County employees will receive a 2.5% wage increase this month and another 2% increase in January, which will cost the county $610,476 more in wages. In addition, adding 2 additional commissioner seats at the next election will cost the county a little over $173,000 in benefit wages. The county is also adding a road and bridge mechanic position and an assistant road and bridge supervisor position. Benefit wages for those 2 positions total around $230,000. The Riley County Health Department will extend its community health education position for another year and hire an additional staff member to coordinate its volunteer program. Functioning as the Board of County Health, the Riley County Commission on Monday unanimously approved both personnel requests from Health Department Administrator Julie Gibbs. The county will use opioid settlement money to fund the community health educator through 2025. The position currently requires 30 hours per week, and Gibbs said the extension will allow department officials to evaluate the need for a potential full-time employee. When she was originally proposed the position, she described it as part-time, but said that the number went up to 30 hours a week by necessity.
And these hours would match up with the school hours, which this individual does a lot of education within the schools. And as they'll be doing more curriculum work with this education in the schools.
The salary plus benefits for the 30-hour per week community health educator will be a little over $49,000 in fiscal year 2025. Officers filed a report of child endangerment, battery of a health and care employee, and battery on a law enforcement officer on Saturday evening at Via Christi Hospital. Officers listed a 29-year-old female healthcare worker, a 43-year-old law enforcement officer, and a 1-year-old male child as the victims when it was reported that Brittany Armstrong, 31, of Manhattan, was believed to be under the influence and not adequately able to care for the minor child in her custody. Armstrong was arrested on the probable cause offenses of child endangerment, battery of a healthcare employee, and battery on a law enforcement officer. Total bond was set at $6,000. She was confined at the time of the report. There were no reported injuries Monday morning after an apartment building caught fire on the southwest side of town just before 7 a.m. The report of a structure fire in the 2500 block of Stag Hill Road came in, and Manhattan Fire Department firefighters responded. Upon arrival, crews found smoke coming out of the top floor of the 3-story, 12-unit building. They searched the building and extinguished the fire within 15 minutes. The damage was contained to the apartment where it originated, and MFD officials in a written statement estimated the total loss at $50,000. The listed owner of the building is Russell K. Bridges Trust of Manhattan. The last MFD units were still clearing the scene as of 9 a.m. Monday. Stag Hill Road shut down for about an hour as a result of the fire. The cause of the fire is under investigation. Geary County Emergency Management released a statement on Monday updating the status of the storm in Junction City that saw serious flooding and damage that led to the collapse of a building. In the statement, Emergency Manager Gary Burgess reported that in consulting with the National Weather Service in Topeka, winds got as high as anywhere from 80 to 90 miles per hour. Burgess said that NWS believed that the straight-line winds caused the damage, and there were also some reports of rotation west of Junction City, but nothing that would form a tornado. Burgess reported that Junction City still had about 1 inch to 3 inches of water on the ground as of Monday morning. Geary County is reporting that most emergency calls were due to cars being stuck in the water during the storms, leading to evacuations and cars being abandoned. Over 70 million Americans are expected to travel 50 or more miles over the 4th of July holiday. This number is expected to be quite high for Kansans, as AAA Public Manager Sean Stewart explains.
We're looking at about 685,000 Kansans taking a trip. About 85% of them, or 585,000, will be driving to their destination. So We're anticipating some busy highways. Air travel and other forms of travel are also expected to be very busy and up from last year as well.
That number is higher than 2023, which saw an estimated 429,000 Kansans either take the roads, sky, or tracks to travel over the July 4th holiday. As Stewart explained, 4th of July usually sees the most travel because the conditions to travel are much easier.
Typically, based on what we've looked at in the past years, the July 4th is the highest travel numbers in terms of the summer travel season. You're looking at Memorial Day, 4th of July, and then Labor Day. With the 4th of July, it's kind of in the peak and right in the heart of summer travel season.
Over 60 million Americans are expected to travel 50 or more miles by car this year. For the latest news headlines, you can head over to our website, newsradiokman.com and themercury.com.
K-Man's Morning News continuing with a look at sports headlines. Good morning, I'm Troy Coverdale. K-State has landed the highest-rated recruit in the program's history. Five-star Goodland High tight end Lincoln Cure making his announcement yesterday in Goodland.
It's a program I want to be a part of. It's guys I want to be around. It's it's a coach I want to play for. This is going to be one of the most exciting times in Kansas State history. I'm just excited to be a part of it, and I'm excited to get to work.
Cure making his announcement in choosing K-State over Kansas, Oregon, and Texas A&M.
I'm not an average tight end. I bring a lot more speed and catch radius and hands. So, I'm excited to see how Coach Wells uses me. He keeps expressing to me how excited he is to get to work and kind of put things together. So, yeah, the biggest thing is that they've kind of said to me is just, get the ball in my hands and let me make plays.
He becomes the third 2025 commitment from the state of Kansas for the Wildcats after being recruited in part by two of the current ones, Avery Johnson and Dylan Edwards.
To be a dude, you want to be around dudes. So that meant a lot to me. And even getting to be around them at the visit, I could kind of tell their drive to be great, their drive to be the best possible athletes that they could be. It just meant a lot to me. And being around them it's going to be a lot of fun to watch K-State.
Cure rated as the 27th best player in the class of 2025 nationally, the second best tight end. The United States was eliminated from Copa America last night with a 1-0 loss to Uruguay on a questionable second-half goal by Matthias Oliveira, a defeat that will increase pressure on the U.S. Soccer Federation to move on from Coach Greg Berhalter before the 2026 World Cup.
Do you believe that you still are the right voice, the right person with this group to push it forward ahead of the 26 World Cup and into the 26 World Cup? Yes.
Uruguay scored when Nicolas de la Cruz swung a free kick in front of the U.S. goal. Matt Turner parried the header by Ronald Araujo, who outjumped defender Tim Ream, but the rebound went right to Oliveira, and he tapped the ball in with his left foot, but Oliveira appeared to be offside on the initial header. The Kansas City Royals begin a 3-game series at home against the Tampa Bay Rays tonight, seeking to win their 4th game in the past 5. Kansas City helped their cause in the AL Central by taking 3 of 4 from the division-leading Guardians over the weekend, and they'll now try to run their season mark against the Rays to 3-1, having taken 2 of 3 from them in Tampa in late May. Zach Littell will start for the visitors. Brady Singer throws for the Royals, who are 14 games over 500 at home this year. Coverage at 6:30 tonight on News Radio KMAN. Klay Thompson is moving on from the Warriors, with the 4-time league champion agreeing to join the Western Conference champ Dallas Mavericks, changing franchises for the first time in his 13-year NBA career. ESPN and The Athletic first reported a multi-team deal involving Thompson. Currently constructed, it would be executed as the sign and trade of a 3-year, $50 million contract involving the Warriors, Mavericks, and Charlotte Hornets. The Hornets were planning to acquire guard Josh Green as part of that deal, giving up a pair of second-round picks. Jason Tatum has agreed to a 5-year, $314 million contract extension to remain with the Boston Celtics. A person with knowledge of that deal told the AP. The new pact will begin with the 25-26 season, keeping the 5-time All-Star in Boston through the 30 campaign. When completed, the Supermax contract would become the largest in league history, supplanting the one signed last offseason by teammate Jaylen Brown, who inked a 5-year deal last year that will pay him up to $304 million. Paul George has agreed to a maximum 4-year, $212 million contract to join the Philadelphia 76ers. George joins a Sixers squad that features 7-time All-Star and 2023 MVP Joel Embiid and All-Star point guard Tyrese Maxey, who agreed to a 5-year, $204 million contract on Monday. The ownership group that controls the NBA champion Celtics says it intends to sell all of its shares in the team. In a statement, Boston Basketball Partners, LLC, said it intends to sell the majority of its shares in 2024 or early 2025. The balance then would close in 2028. One of the NBA's original and storied brands, the Celtics were valued at $4.7 billion last year by Forbes, placing it as the fourth highest number in the league behind Golden State, New York, and Los Angeles. Naomi Osaka has played a match at Wimbledon for the first time in 5 years, playing in the tournament for the first time in 6. She moved into the second round at the All England Club this morning with a 6-1, 1-6, 6-4 win over Diane Parry. Coco Gauff and Emma Raducanu also won. Also did defending champ Carlos Alcaraz on the men's side. Royals baseball tonight as Kansas City opens that set with the Rays at Kauffman Stadium at 7:10. Coverage at 6:30 on News Radio KMAN.